Whoa, now, man, listen, shout out to each and every single one of you for tuning in again to another Tuesday night, man, on The Leverage Show. I'm your host, Lambo Drew, man, and you are now tuned in to The Leverage Show. Thank you all for tuning in each and every single week, man, for some of the dopest guests that we bring to the show, for some of the dopest responses that we get from you guys, and for the community for going ahead, man, and sharing my videos and showing so much love out here. Again, y'all know we got another dope guest tonight, man. I'm super ecstatic about this one because this one was brought to me, man, to a good friend of mine, man. Shout out to my guy Echo, man, who was down in my city in New Orleans, man, doing what he do. He was actually supposed to be away visiting, and all of a sudden, man, I think he may be a resident down there in New Orleans now. Golly, he been gone for so long, man. But because of that, man, Echo turned around, man, and was able to go ahead, man, and make this connection to somebody and everything, man, who I never had heard of, man, prior to that. But the moment and everything he made that connection, I started dapping in and doing my research and went to looking at all of the content and all of the movement that this person truly had been involved with and started seeing what they were actually doing. And now that they're spreading this around the entire United States, listen, y'all want to tap in tonight. If y'all can do yourself some justice, share this video, man. Share this program, share this broadcast. DM somebody, text somebody, man. Put it in to make sure that they are tapped in and tuned in tonight, because it's definitely going to be an amazing night, and you guys do not want to miss. Definitely, man, what Miss R.W. Jones is getting ready to bring to the show. Y'all ain't heard nothing like this, man. And for many of y'all who have heard some stuff like this, y'all probably haven't heard the in-depthness that y'all guys are getting ready to hear tonight. So I'm excited about that tonight. Listen, before we bring her on the show, man, just want to go ahead, man, check the stream, man. Shout out to you. LA Law is in the building. Thank you, LA Law, for another wonderful, great night, man. Thank you for tapping in, man, each and every single week. LA Law, you already know, man, you've been winning prizes like never before. Money, shout out to you, man, in the building. Thank you for tapping in. And my beautiful wifey, my queen, man, my queen who makes everything happen, Renata Johnson. Thank you. Wishing everybody hello, everyone, and welcome to The Leverage Show. Showing you guys, man, that we are here tonight, man, to show some love, man. So thank y'all. Listen, tonight, my guy Echo. Oh, snap. I see you, Echo. Echo done came with the pound sign, and he got the Florida leaf up there. I see you, Echo, bro. You told me you was going to tap in. Shout out to you, Echo, because it's because of you, man, that was allowing Miss R.W. Jones and the entire team of the Welfare Tour, man, to go on ahead, man, and tap into the Lambo Drew Leverage Show. Thank you, Echo, man. You don't even notice. Because of you, Echo, you like the star on here, man. I should tap in and bring you on here, man. But then if I tap in and bring you on here, you got to bring your butt back to Denver, because I'm trying to tell you right now, you can't be staying down there in New Orleans like that. You turn around and you get a slang on you, and they wouldn't know what the heck you saying up here when you come back to Colorado, boy. All right? So look, holla at you. Thank you, Echo, for that. So Ronnie Ryan is in the building, man. Thank you, Ronnie Ryan. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all this right now. If y'all don't miss this show, man, I'm trying to tell y'all right now, y'all missing probably one of the biggest shows of the year for what Miss R.W. Jones is getting ready to bring. I'm telling you, the knowledge, the insight, the stuff that I have seen has been none short of amazing, to see exactly what she has been doing to empower the community. And for her mission to actually be changing 1 million women's lives. If y'all are not in empowerment, I promise y'all will truly be empowerment after Ms. R.W. Jones get finished with y'all. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all be out there texting your baby mama, your baby daddies, and everything else, and all of them like, hey, yo, we need to get empowerment right now. Texting your family, your cousins, and your aunts and uncles and all of them. Look, y'all make sure y'all get empowerment, because tonight is going down. All right? So listen, without further ado, I'll go on ahead and bring to the show Ms. R.W. Jones, who truly I have seen and studied, within the last few weeks of the material and all the great things that I have watched and seen her do. And I was just blown away seeing the amount of information that she has been bringing to each broadcast and bringing to city and empowering communities and changing people's lives. I'm trying to tell y'all this right now. Some of y'all are not going to, or probably have never heard of the information that you guys are going to see that's getting ready to be shared tonight. And tonight, you guys truly want to tap in. So make sure, again, y'all are sharing this video. Share it, put it in somebody's DM, put it in somebody's live, put it in somebody's messenger, somebody's whatever you need to put it in. Go hand it to somebody at the front door if you possibly can. and make sure that they tapping in tonight. All right. So listen, without further ado, listen, I want to bring Miss R.W. Jones to the broadcast, to the show. Truly the founder of the Wealth Fair, not welfare, because some of y'all are already saying, oh, welfare. No, no, no. She's helping y'all transition from welfare to the Wealth Fair. That way you guys are literally, man, taking your lives to another level and helping the communities around you take your lives to another level. So without further ado, the founder and the owner of the Welfare Tour, Ms. R.W. Jones, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what is
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes. Shout out to Echo.
Echoes
Yes,
in,
thank you, Echo.
Echoes in the building. Look, he's laughing now. He didn't put his little emojis up with his ha ha ha. And he's laughing now, man. Shout out to you, Big Echo, man, for this tonight, man. As I see, look at you. You are on in the tour bus doing your thing, man, going from city to city. Look like you done just wrapped up another conference for the day.
I did. It was packed. We were in Laurel, Mississippi, little
What's going
old
down there,
town.
Lord?
And yeah, they came out. I mean, it was hundreds of people in that room. And after we were finished, they all signed up for school. They all signed up to just do different things, that the come up, the leverage. And they
Yeah,
were like, we never heard this stuff. So it's a win. Our client, the housing authority, they were really excited because most of the time you hear the public housing staff, they kept saying, or social services, they're like, oh, they don't want to work. They don't want to work. Nobody want to work. I'm like, they want to work, but they
yeah,
just don't want to do the kind of work you want them to do.
yeah.
So yeah, we just wrapped up. I made sure I left early. I was like, I gotta get on this show. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do it. I hope this thing ends right, but it ended perfectly. So now we're
See,
here.
see, well,
Hi, Rhonda.
I thank you. I honor you for you coming to the show. Yes, my lovely wife in there, man, showing love to you. Oh my God.
Yes.
We've been
Good
ecstatic
evening.
about this. We've truly been ecstatic about this, man. So thank you. Thank you for taking time out just for the little
Welcome.
time tonight, man, and come to Grace the Leverage show, man, with all of your knowledge and expertise. So truly and everything, man. I want to know. I want everybody to know, man, how did this all get started? Tell us about R.W. Jones and the background and exactly how did you start this and come up with this vision, man, that God has given you now that has changed countless of lives.
I know, amen. 20 years ago, I was a welfare mom myself, not with one, not two, not three, four kids, three baby daddies. Life was a hellhole.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like, how did I get here? I didn't wake up and say, you know what, you're going to just have a baby by a man that's going to leave you and not take responsibility. That was not how I planned the day, but it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I remember I worked in a juvenile detention center, and everybody in my cell was African American. It was from single family homes. They were None of them knew they had fathers. They were dropouts in the hood, public housing, Section 8. There was too many trends. So I wanted to go to school to see, why were they committing these crimes? What was it about all of us that we were just in this one place? All the systems looked the same, mass incarceration filled with African Americans. And I just knew that it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to solve. I just felt like somebody needs to look into this. But I didn't realize that me looking into it, I was becoming it. I was trying to solve a problem, but I became the problem.
Come on
And
now.
so I had to unravel myself from like, well, wait a minute, that was not the plan. The plan was to help the kids. And now you got one, two, three, four kids on social services. And, they gave you ultimatums like, we're not going to pay for you to go to school, to be no attorney. You're going to have to come out and get a law degree. I mean, come out and do CNA. And I
Yeah.
thought, I don't want to do CNA. But then I remember just being a day late and a dollar short all the time. That was like the story of my life. And I would always say, who makes these rules? Who makes these rules? And it was always Caucasian, older males,
Yeah.
older females and the policies. So, when we say welfare, what happens is on this side of the track, there's these punitive rules
Mhm.
that keep you poor. So you can't have more than $2,000. They scrutinize you. You can't have this. You can't have that. And then they put thousands of applications. They just tap you dry. And as soon as you make a dollar, they take in half through your
Mm.
social service benefits. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you were stuck. I was
Yeah.
stuck. And I remember I had my four sons, I had four boys, and I was like, I worked. I did what they told me to do. I went to work, but working was getting me more and more and more in the hole.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
yo, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of here. I don't think I'm gonna get out. And I kept looking at my sons, and then I had to look at my family like, damn, nobody made it out.
Yeah.
I never saw one person in my family that made it out. Everybody was in the project. I had real live pimps, real live hoes, real live, all of it. 3-car Monty on the corners, the tricksters. They
Yeah.
was, and then it's like if you keep living that way, eventually you get older, you get sick. So I had so many people with health issues in my family. I just never saw nobody who made it out. And I remember, I call it my crossroads, that there was this. I just looked at my life. I was like, I got 4 kids. I
Yeah.
said, and I just could not accept that this was going to be my life forever. And I literally heard a voice that said, drown them. So I
Mm.
literally, my crossroads was me. I was going to drown my 4 sons in the tub. I ran the water. I had the towels ready. I went for the oldest one. He was nowhere to be found. The second one was nowhere. And then the baby, I went to the crib. He wasn't there. And I thought, I was like, I'm losing my mind because, like, let's get this over with. Because I guess you got to be so desperate to think of drowning your sons and then killing yourself was the only way out of the pain and the degradation and why try fighting for a dream that you know you're never going to get or attain? That was more painful
Yeah.
than anything, knowing that I was never going to get out. And I tell people when I tell the story, the Lord hid them children from my
Mm.
view. They were nowhere to be found. They were
Mm.
nowhere to be found. Because I played the tape to the end and I was like, oh my God, I will go to jail. So I was like, you know what? You're going to kill yourself. And I
Yeah.
went looking for them, bath water ready, towels ready. I said, let me get the oldest one. He's going to give me the most of the trouble.
Yeah.
He going to give me most of the trouble. And he was nowhere to be found.
Mm.
My dog is acting
Mm.
up. And
No.
so one of them was eating a cookie. All of a sudden, I guess when I started to look, like, where are all the kids? It's 4 of them. The baby wasn't even in the crib. And I was
Mm.
like, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy. And then one of them was eating his cookie and he's just laughing at me. And he's just grinning and laughing like someone was tickling him. And I thought to myself, why are you laughing? But it was something so pure about his laughter. I couldn't help but to listen. I couldn't help but to tune into the laughter. The echoes in the laughter was so pure, that it was so innocent, and it was so full of hope. It was so full of joy. It was so full of something that I just couldn't see in that moment. And
Yeah.
it's the laughter that broke me out of that dark place. And when I realized, in the laughter, I heard hope. Hold on. Like, it
Yeah.
gets better. Wait. It gets better. But when I realized what I was about to do
Mm.
and who I was in that moment and who I had to be to hold on, that was when I just really fell to my knees. I prayed one prayer. I said, Lord, if you get me out of this in my right mind, I promise I will come back and help others. Don't know why that was the only prayer on my mouth. I just knew that if I got out in my right mind, that's all I needed. I didn't ask for nothing else, no car, no job, no house, no husband. I didn't want no money. I just needed my right mind.
Yeah.
And I promised him I will come back and help others. And every day since then, 20 years, I have
Mm.
I just dedicated my life because he helped me off that floor. And I knew other moms were in this soft spot where they have these thoughts, but in order to go down being a monster,
Yeah.
they probably numb out. They numb out, they dumb out, they go
Mm.
low, and they just kind of unplug.
Yeah.
And so my job, I come back in and I plug them back in. And I'm like, not only am I going to plug you in, but I'm going to show you
Yeah.
how you can now move about freely, and social services won't touch your benefits, housing won't increase on your rent, and you can achieve the dream that you feel like you called to accomplish. And so I know that's this is my mission. This is what I was called to do. But in the beginning, you couldn't tell me. that this would be 20 years later. It was hell. It was hell. I
Mm,
felt like I was like, I thought I was cursed. I thought God didn't love me. I thought I did something wrong. But God, I mean, He was faithful through the whole thing. And so that's the story behind that fuels the welfare movement, that fuels Can I Live and all of this. So I've been 20 years just think about 20 years in the bowels of the capitalist system. And all I had to do was learn first, get out yourself. Now go back. It's like Harriet Tubman. She
yeah,
had to get free first.
yeah,
Then she came back and she had to rely on God to do the rest. And then she just kept coming back
yeah.
because she did not wear off from her path. The
Right,
path was the path.
right.
The path was the path. If you go anywhere else, you're going to get caught up. And so what we do is like the modern day Underground Railroad. But most people don't know these moms are stuck
Yeah,
and they can't move in these systems because if you move, the system going to take everything that you have. So right now, the system will give you housing. It'll give you food. It'll give you health care. It'll
yeah,
give you formula for your baby. It'll give you child care. It'll give you everything as long as you sit right there and don't do nothing else.
yep.
But the minute you say, I think I want to do something, they're like, okay, well, what you want to do? Okay, and then give me all of that.
Mm,
Simultaneously, you got 10 days. You got 10
mm,
days. And they taking and your Medicaid is off. Not
yeah,
they don't you don't get decrease in Medicaid. It's on or off.
yep,
Medicaid goes, housing is increasing, food stamps is going, cut down half. Your WIC, you probably don't get that. So you get paid more. Moms and dads. If you're on low income, you get paid more to sit there and don't do nothing. And you sit there long enough, you're gonna catch some kind of ailment, diabetes, you know, cholesterol, depression, because you just sat there for 10, 15, 20 years. Now your body, your brain don't even know how to think. Your
yep,
mind don't even know how to solve a problem. And I am just sometimes it's so heavy. I feel like God, how because it's like trying to pull gum off of a ground
yeah,
that been
yeah.
stuck for years. And I'm like, we gonna pull that off. Now some people not coming, but today, oh, they was lit up today. They was lit up today. They was like, I had an 86-year-old. She was
Stop playing.
86. She was 86. She was like, tell me what I need to do. She was like, I want, and she was the most determined one out of everybody.
And she's
And I
close
was
to the end
like,
of her life like that.
actually, she said she was not 86. She was 69. She said she banging on 70's door, but
Mhm.
she looked good, but she was still 70.
Yeah,
And she said, I got a bachelor's degree, but I want more. And I told her, I said, here she is 70.
yeah.
And what y'all 18, 19, 20? What you I said, so today was a great day. Um, and so I'm excited about getting into some of the leverage show. How you leverage when you just got $1 in a dream. How you leverage.
Well, listen. I done heard some real stuff to the show. That's probably one of the most realest things I ever heard any
Mhm.
guest come to my show and say. You understand? And man, I commend you for that because you don't know how many times where I'm talking about for me. I ain't talking about for anything else. I'm talking about for me personally, where you in there, you just battling like, golly, when things gonna change for me. When my life gonna change. It's gotta be better than this. I've got a lot of single mothers who watch this broadcast right now. Like the ladies actually be running this broadcast. That I know
Mhm.
that they actually thought the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
yo, when is my knife getting ready to come to an end? I know a good friend of mine, man. She tunes in every Tuesday night. I guarantee she's on here right now. That if she could have took her kids and threw her kids in a trash can somewhere and rolled them over, she would have and tried to get away with it. You understand? Just mentally checking out because life could be too hard. The struggle is real, and
Yeah.
most people don't understand that mental battle that we deal with, especially in our community. They don't think that we strong enough.
Definitely.
Oh, they so strong enough. It's the white people, man, killing themselves and committing murders and shooting up the
Mm-hmm.
room. No, baby, some of the realest thoughts come through our black community.
You
So
better
to
say it.
see you there 20 years ago, and then to actually see your family now, like I seen the pictures of your boys, the before and after, and even the wonderful husband James. Shout out to my guy, man. You know, to see what God
Amen.
has blessed you with now is like none short of amazing, none short of
Amen.
miraculous, baby. So
Amen.
I look at that. I'm like, yo, there's a lot of people out there battling those same thoughts right now. Should I give up on life? Thank you for coming to the show and keeping it real
Amen.
on this leverage show. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. The thoughts are real. And but you can't as you can who you gonna share it with? Because the
Come
minute
on.
you go tell anybody, they're gonna want to put you in a straight jacket, in a psych ward. Like this is like these are thoughts.
Yeah,
This is real thoughts. And so just because I'm having a thought, don't mean I'm gonna actually do it. Thank God I had intervention. And in some cases, we've heard the tragedy stories
yeah,
about some moms who have snapped. But I
yeah,
think I want to shout out to our moms that may have had it, but knew that that wasn't an option. And, sometimes you could get real bitter with this experience. You can get
yeah,
real gritty and real gritty and angry because you're like, really?
yeah,
Can I live? Can I get a
yeah,
piece of the pie? Can I have a piece of this American dream? Um, and you can resent people when you see people that have it and you don't.
yeah.
Then you start looking to the left and to the right, like, well, what am I doing wrong? And
Man,
so, yeah, I'm
you
excited.
know, one of the realest statements I ever heard of. Thoughts turns into actions. Actions, no, actually, thoughts turns into habits. Habits turns into actions. Actions turns into creations. Creations turns into destinations. And it's
Mm,
one of the
amen.
realest things. I think that we continuously to keep thinking these thoughts because we see a lot and we're in a visual place in life where we're seeing a lot. And you've seen a lot
Amen.
enough in those places like that, where
Oh,
your thoughts
absolutely.
turned into habits and those habits turned into actions, those actions turned into creations, and all of a sudden those creations brought you into some destinations. And sometimes the destinations is not what we decide or what we want. But I love it
Right.
because I listened to your story. And for those who don't know, like, she told that story that was super dope. But I loved it because there was a point in time in your life when you was just like, yo, I got to get up out of here. I got to get up out of from where I'm at and seeing what I'm seeing and get my sons when something did click in your head to get to another better place, man. Talk to us about that time when everything did switch and God and everything, man, started showing you way bigger and those thoughts started seeing something way bigger than where you were currently at. Talk to us.
It took a while before those thoughts manifest. So I didn't know that at that time it was still seed. So now that I'm out of it and I'm teaching a system, now you have to grow a business. Now you have to make a whole model. And so I was going to free resources, score, all of these people would, in the small business development. I was a welfare mom, 4 kids. I own no property. And they would literally tell me, you don't have a business. And I would say, well, what do you mean I don't have a business? I have a vision. Like God showed me a vision and I'm going to do this. They were like, but you don't have a business model. How do
Mm,
you make money? They kept saying, how do you make money? And it was so defeating, even keeping the dream alive. And so a lot of my team, they just coming back. So you probably see them coming in and out because we just finished the event.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But keeping the dream alive, there was countless times crying every night on my pillow. And I remember crying and say, can I live? We'll live and not die. I was like, you will live and not die. You will live and not die. And that's sometimes all I had. And so, you know, when the only thing I can say is when God shows you something inwardly,
Mhm.
the vision was the thing that kept me off the ropes. The vision was the thing that kept me from being not being upset or angry or being able to kind of stay focused. Like, just keep plowing, just keep moving. I was
Yeah.
the only one out here doing anything like this. No one ever did anything. And 20 years ago, it wasn't popular. And today, I am the only. My team and I, we are the only ones in the whole entire United States that is doing what we're doing. And
Mm.
so that tells me that when you're willing to just do the work,
Yeah.
no matter how long it take. I remember telling the social service system, I was like, I don't care how long it take. I said, even if it take me 20 years, I'm gonna change you. I'm gonna
Mhm.
change you. And so, developing the empire state of mind, one of the things I had to realize that there's a scripture that says the weapons of this warfare are not carnal,
Mhm.
but are mighty through God. People hear it and they quote it, but
Mhm.
I had to really meditate on that. And the word says, but they're mighty through
Mhm.
God to the pulling down of stronghold and casting down imagination,
Mhm.
bringing every thought into captivity. I kept having thoughts that said, you ain't gonna be nothing. Don't nobody want to listen to you. What you gonna write that book for? Ain't nobody
Mm.
gonna read it.
Mm.
Nobody. And these were just thoughts that I didn't. They just would come whenever I was about to do something, write my book, do something. The Holy Spirit, God put on me to write a book, and I'm like, there go those thoughts.
Yeah.
So whenever I started to hear those thoughts, I had to immediately arrest those thoughts, and I had to counter it with the word, and whatever God said about it, I would have to say. And so that was like, I learned to just use the tools, that invisible tools. That's my husband right there. Babe, he said shout out to
Shout
James.
out to you, James.
This is Lambo Drew.
My guy.
This from Echo. Echo. Hey, Echo. So I had to learn how to listen when you don't have no money.
Yeah.
All you have is a dollar and a dream. I had to use the tools that I had, and and the ability to hear God's voice was a lifesaver. So I
Mhm.
think, I remember sometimes when my boys were younger, they would hear me say the story, and it was a point in time they were angry. They would listen to it and they were upset, and it was like, you didn't want us.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. And I was like, and I had to explain it. So now they laugh. They're like, I done heard that story so many times. I could probably say it better myself. And so, I just think that at the end of the day, I still just believe what God said, despite of what it looked like. I mean, it looked like this thing was never gonna happen.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I say never, I mean never, 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 never. It was never gonna happen. But then it breaks, but it don't
Yeah.
always break like the Rushmore. Like, it just, you get certain breaks.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what do you do with those breaks? Being faithful over the small breaks, being faithful over the small. And I'm big on, I don't care if I got one person, one client, one thing, I'm gonna give you 100%
Yeah.
of who I am. And so that is, I mean, did I always knew? Yeah, I did. I did always knew that I would be somebody. I always knew I would be wonderful.
Mhm.
I just had to wait, and then I had to affirm that for myself. So it didn't matter if you validated it, it didn't matter if you believed it, it didn't matter if you agreed. It
Mhm.
was in me. And once I took that posture and that stance that I am
Yeah.
everything that God is, I walked differently. I talked differently. When I show up and I having conversation, we having conversations differently.
Mhm.
And that is where, you just now walking your truth. I think sometimes we watch too many movies. It's either too many movies,
Yeah.
or no, or it's people who make it don't be honest
Yeah.
about the process.
Yeah.
People just look at the glam.
Yeah.
You just look at a Kim Kardashian, but nobody tells you the story of how they even became that. You looking at
Yeah.
Beyonce and Jay, but you're not looking at how they became that. And
Mhm.
I think that if more people share the story, more people would not chase money, but appreciate the process that money, grows.
You are so real. They lighten up the comments because of this, because of your realness on here. Knock it out the park, Lambo. Shout out to my guy Kennard Haney in the building, man. Always doing what he do. Be well with Nikki said this. I know this right here, man, is all it. The realest. I told you this is probably one of the realest I ever seen somebody get real on this broadcast like this. You understand? Shout out to Ronnie.
Amen.
Ronnie, like, look, the struggle is real. Look, if it be the case, Ronnie would probably be one of them duct taping them kids, putting them down with some tranquilizer darts and stuff like that, put them in the
Stop
Mississippi
it.
River somewhere, man.
The thoughts
It's
are
love,
very
man.
real.
But thoughts are very real, man. Ronnie definitely says, shout out to you, Sharon. And then Kennard says, man, she needs to shout this message from the mountaintop. Where is her book? Yo, she's got material. Yo, let's talk about that just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. So the first book I ever wrote, I was in the system. I had 3 fathers, and I tried to work with each one of them, and I couldn't understand how, no matter how much I tried to do, they were just like, no, take me to court. Literally, take me to court. And I was like, well, what man in their right mind asks
Yeah,
you to take them to court? I couldn't
yeah,
understand that.
yeah,
And so I was like, are these like the most ignorant people in the whole earth? Because I know some men that is trying to get out the court.
yeah,
And so my first book is Get Your Hands Out My Pocket. It's the hands-on guide to avoiding the child support system. So I was just basically showing like, okay, don't be these idiots. I'm gonna show other men, since they couldn't take it, I'm gonna
yeah.
show you how to not wind up in the child support system.
Right.
And so that's a book for youth and young adults. You can get that on thebillionaire.com. And it basically helps young men, older men. If you in child support right now,
Mm,
just listen.
Come on now.
Like
Come on now.
listen.
Come on now. Come on
If
now.
you in child support right now, the book is going to help you, first of all, because most men, I'm gonna be honest, men think differently from women. So when women start talking, they already done played the game 4 or 5 times on
Yeah.
4 or 5 different levels. And you may come in on a level that ain't even the game that's being played. So she
Yeah.
know how to bring you to the game board.
Yeah.
She's gonna bring you to the game board that she want to play on. And unfortunately, that power that women have, most cases, when the man does something like hurt us, go somewhere else, we have a tendency to take that, fuel that, and turn it inwardly. And before you know it, we're manipulative.
Mhm.
Before you know it, we controlling a situation.
Mm,
We holding the kids as pawns. We
mm,
playing back and forth
mm,
with you, playing games.
mm, mm.
And I knew that I saw myself doing that, and I didn't necessarily like it, but I knew that I had that power that I could yield that. And the men, sorry, the men weren't aware.
Yeah.
And I just didn't, I just saw how I can yield them wherever I felt like playing them. And so now I teach men understanding the mindset, understanding, how she thinking. And if you do these things, you're gonna wind up on child support. Babe, turn that light off up here. You're gonna wind up on the child support system. I don't like the way. Let me see. Um, let's see. I'm just trying to
Take your
oh
time.
yeah, so that was Get Your Hands Out My Pocket. And once I wrote that book, we're talking about emotional intelligence, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about your A game. No, put it back on. Sorry. Thank you. What you need to do to come up, because if she get pregnant, she going on a system. If she get on that system, you about 2 steps from the child support system. So how do you prevent her from going into the system? Number one, if you young enough, just don't have no kids if
Yeah.
you ain't ready.
Yeah.
Number one. And
Yeah.
then number two, if you got one, you might not want to have 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
And okay, you got 5, 6, 7, 8. You can still yield, because women women respect men that handle their
Yeah.
shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just handle it.
Yeah.
This is what it is. This is what it's gonna be.
Yep.
Be honest. While you think she may hate you for the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but she gonna respect you after a while if you just be honest. Don't
Yeah.
even lie. Because one thing women hate is to be thinking, don't like you to underestimate their intelligence. They don't
Mm-hmm.
like to be made or played stupid. And so the second book is Get Your Hands Off My Butt. That's the hands-on guide to avoiding the welfare system. So, I tell women, like, your derriere is not the best asset you have.
Mm.
I know black men love a big butt, but I think we
Butt
have
in the
gone.
smile, they say.
I think we got too far. When you start putting fixing flats in your butt, we may have gone too far with
Yeah.
the big butt and the smile. And it's not cool. You looking beat to the gods,
Mhm.
but you in public housing somewhere,
Mm.
and you shimming shamming, and it's
Mm.
like you're not even real. So if
Yeah.
I can show young women how to protect their income, how to avoid the welfare trap, so it's really for young kids for sure. But if you got one, you ain't gotta have four or five. If you got
Mm.
five, how to stop the cycle and start doing something for yourself. Because I in my stories I tell people, I remember one day I was putting the pressure on one of my son's father, my ex-husband, and I was just going in on him. You ain't this, you ain't that, you ain't gonna
Mhm.
be, just going in. And I think after that, I looked and was like, I don't know, it had to be the Holy Spirit that looked at me like, really? You
Yeah.
gonna tell him he need to do all of this? And then I was like, well, mm-mm.
Mhm.
Well, maybe. And then I had to say, well, wait a minute, you ain't even pushing what you just told him to push. So I literally wrote down all of the things that I received. I was like, well, I've received this much in this. I received almost $4,000 in benefits a month.
Mm.
And I was like, if they ever cut it off, I would be lost.
Yeah.
I would not be able to take care of my family. And that's when it really became a pursuit. Like, okay, I'm gonna need you to get this. Ain't you? This ain't the come up. The system is not to come up. I'm gonna need you to be honest. You can't be lying and cheating. And I was like, well, if I gotta lie for it, it ain't God. God ain't gonna never give you something you gotta lie for.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
And so that is those are the two books that I have. Get Your Hands Out My Pocket, Hands on Guide to Avoiding the Child Support System, and Get Your Hands Off My Butt, the Hands on Guide to Avoiding the Welfare System. So they're like self-help books to help people avoid the various systems.
And
That, that tr-
we can find that at right here at thebillionaire.com. Is that it?
Correct.
Awesome. Y'all, listen, y'all go pick that books up. Like some of y'all need to get into some of y'all females give them to y'all brothers or y'all other family out there, man, who really needs that. And then some of the ladies, man, y'all need to go ahead and get that to make sure y'all tighten up on y'all game and get that game tightened up. Thebillionaire.com, y'all make sure y'all go there and go get those books because you got a lot of stuff on there. You got like stuff you can register for on there as well, too, for some
Hmm.
other things that you got, right?
Yeah, we do conferences and events. We got courses. The nonprofit got non programs, incubators, business incubators. So it's education and entrepreneurship for us. It's just teaching you, how to pretty much keep your income, increase your income, keep your benefits, and without your rent going up and without you, receiving any kind of deduction. So we want to bring more income in and then protect it as it comes in. So we teach women how to do that, and men too.
You know, you are just, I mean, they lighten the comments up so bad on it. I'm laughing because it's like the game that you are dropping here. And this is, y'all, she ain't even begin to really drop game. She just talking to y'all just a little bit, man.
Right,
You
right.
understand? You were the very first person I ever heard of speak on, yo, putting a down payment with like a rent voucher, right? Like a Section 8 voucher, right?
Yeah.
Talk
So
to us.
one of the things they don't tell us, and I know why. So most people know what Section 8 is. They know it's the game. The whole game is all about getting a voucher. It's like the golden ticket. And what's happening right now is you can't even find landlords in the communities who's going to even take your voucher.
Mm.
And so what most people don't know is that you could take your voucher and purchase a home with your voucher. Now that's the part they don't tell you. They don't tell you that HUD or the housing authority will pay your mortgage for 15 years. And if you're disabled for 30 years. So you are the landlord. Why they don't push that? I would the only way I could say is they don't push it because owning an asset helps you build wealth. So if they could keep us as renters, then they could keep us always with our hand out. in need. But you can purchase a home with your Section 8 voucher. We just left there just now. People were like, they whole faces. They were. I'm like, how you got a voucher for 20 years and no one ever told you you could purchase your home with your voucher? And that housing authority will cut you a check every single month for your mortgage.
Man, man, you gonna have me go and knock on so many doors like, hey, bro, you ready to get a home? Are you serious, fam? How did you find this out? I'm
I
curious.
was a commissioner. I was appointed as a commissioner to our local housing authority. And it was when I was a housing authority commissioner, I would have to go out for training. I would have to, it's reading. I was reading regulations. I was reading programs. I was learning more about it. And when I found out, I was blown away. And I was like, I know families don't know this. I know they don't. They in public housing, Section 8, any HUD assistant. See, one of the things HUD does, while they don't support, they say they promote empowerment, they don't. But they gave you an empowerment window, about 5 of them. You got to find it on your own. You could go on their website and it's going to be on their website. But don't nobody check for HUD website. And no regular person going on HUD unless you're looking to advocate for yourself, looking to find something when you're in trouble or you need to fight for your rights. Most of the time, that's just not a place you go. But unfortunately, the housing authorities, they'll have it. But again, residents can't get past, or I'm not going to work because my benefits. So you don't even have the game plan. So you're not even ready to take advantage of it. And what they do basically is they take the income that your voucher gives you and they have to write, some sheet, give it to the bank, and the bank takes that as income. So if you was making 30,000 a year and your voucher is say 1,000 a month, now you got 12,000 extra dollars. So now you got 42,000. You can afford more house. So it helps you afford more house because it's counted as income. The banks count it as income. However, the banks don't even want to write the transactions. So it's discrimination, technically. That's housing discrimination. Why? You can't even find too many banks that will write a Section 8 voucher transaction. So when you find it, I know there's a housing authority in Texas. I want to say is it San Angelo or San Antonio? They putting out 12 houses a month. That's their thing. They're like, nope, everybody that move in here gonna have. So if y'all got a Section 8 voucher and you want to move, go out. I'll find it. I'm gonna get you the list. I'm gonna put it on our website. It's either San Antonio or San Angelo, but they have a quota that they meet every month, 12 houses per month, and they out there putting moms and dads, low income, Section 8, with the voucher. And how that became successful is whoever's running the program used to be both. One was a banker, one was a real estate. So they know it, but at least they using it now. I'll tell you this: this is mostly Hispanic. This is a Hispanic agency, and so most of the people that live there is Hispanic, and that's what they're doing for the Hispanic community out there. And so I don't know what it's going to take for us, but they're not, and I'm good. Let them win too. Anybody, if you winning in the system, you winning. If you're in the system, I don't care what color you are, you can use these programs and rules. It's just, you got to look at how we make up 12% of the population, but more than 50% of these systems. And then of that, feed everybody else. Everybody poor, so you got Medicaid, social service. We actually taking care of like a whole economy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how or when. I know we've moved like 600 so far, 600 moms up the welfare system, and that was before we leveled up. That was before we scaled and did the whole RV and stuff like that. It's just over the years I was doing it so much. A lot of the people were like, "You really need to take this to another level. You really need to monetize it, formalize it, market it. Like you really got something." And so, yep. So buying the house with your voucher, that is one definite And so, if you don't mind, I want to be able, because everybody kind of sitting here waiting for me. Put the AC on. You can put the car. You can start it. Oh, I thought you was gonna pull off. They looking at me like, is we gonna sit here for the whole podcast? So
Yeah,
yeah, no, y'all could at least start the car for
yeah,
the AC. Sorry. One of the things I definitely want to make sure, like where we just left, we were
yeah,
telling the participants that there's income that you can get that the housing authority, social services, disability, none of them can count.
yeah.
And when I was showing them that, when I was up here doing it, they gave me the ultimatum and they said, you know what, we're not gonna pay for you to become no lawyer. You're gonna have to become a CNA. You're gonna get this TANF check or
Mhm,
not. And so I had a couple of days to think about it. And I went and told my professor that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to drop out of school. And she was like, no, you're not gonna drop out. She said, go to student loan. No, she said, go to this financial aid office. And she
mhm,
said, max out on your budget.
mm,
And I was like, what is that? She was like, me and my husband take out $50,000 a year each, and we live off 100,000. So I was like, y'all just take out 50,000, live off of. I was like, that's white people stuff. I was like, that's not gonna
yeah,
work for black people. You know what I'm
right.
saying, like that. And so lo and behold, I went and did exactly what she said, and my refunds started to get larger. So large, I felt nervous. I was like, let me call my caseworker and let her know that I got this large check. 5,000, almost $7,000. Um, And I called her and she was like, well, where did the check come from? I was like, from school. And she was like,
Mm,
oh, we can't count that. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean you can't count this? She was like, that's not income. We don't count that. I said, so I can get these checks every semester and you never touch it. She was like, nope. And I said, you know what? I'm never coming out of school. And I was a full time student for 12 years. I stayed in
wow.
school. I stayed in school. I got hella student loans, but
Yeah,
I used the school money. I paid my rent off for 4 months at a time. And now that my bills were paid, all I had time to do was think and solve problems. And so now I've got 20 years on thinking because I had one system to help me solve the economic thirst, kept my benefits because I needed that to keep my family going. I
mhm,
had four
mhm,
kids.
mhm,
And then I learned, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I was like, I own a small business. She was like, well, how much your business make? I said, my business ain't make nothing. My business ain't make nothing. She said, well, that's fine. She was like, what do you think you're going to make? I said, I don't know. I said, I have nothing. So I had to just check in like every 6 months to a year. And I just had to see, she just wanted to see, you made any money yet? I was like, nope, because I didn't. And all I would do is make sure if I ain't do nothing else, I had an accountant.
mm,
And he would do my taxes. And he would show that I didn't make the money and I actually lost money. And it was the loss of the money that they couldn't touch.
right.
So even when my business was making money, you have legal expenses,
Yeah,
social services, public housing, Section 8. They, if you say I own a business, they're gonna say, let me see your taxes and give me your Schedule C because we want to do the net, your net
yeah.
income, not your gross. So your business may have made 50,000, but at the end of the day, you might come home with 15,000. They can
Mhm,
only count the 15.
mhm,
So you got a whole $35,000 worth of expenses that you can legally deduct. You can hire a staff. You can get some studio space. You can invest in your equipment. You could get intros, outros, videos, all of it, and they can't touch it. Now that's just something all around because I would just use my business, my student loan money to feed the
yep.
business. So I was constantly just like, you know, income coming in, pay the bills, the rest I'm protecting. And that's how over the years I was able to, just build, just level up, just continue to think, solve problems, figure this stuff out.
You know how many people, man, are in that same position right now and have never heard of that? That's why these comments lighten up like, You start to see wow, that's amazing. You know, you start to see that, man. Like no bills, they can solve problems. Like literally, this is stuff. Kadar RW, this is the most powerful example of living your purpose. Like
Yeah.
this is the stuff. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You know, PC Smith and everything, man, in the building, man. She said she's right about the vouchers and everything, man. Only certain banks will do it and stuff like that of touching those vouchers like that. No, she works hand in
Mm-hmm.
hand with mortgages like that.
Look at
Golly,
that.
man.
Yeah, but I think once the cat is out the bag and we're around and we're out here, the somebody gonna have to hold these people accountable. Somebody gonna say, well, why are the banks not writing the transaction? Why don't we have families ready to purchase these homes? So the goal is to ignite the ground floor with the information so we can raise up an army. I've been through all of this as a man. Wow.
Yeah.
Amen.
He was speaking on when you was
Look at
talking about
that.
the manipulation of the kids and stuff like that, man. You know,
Mm. Yeah, it's real. It's
you know,
very,
and
very real.
and Ronnie on here, baby, I honestly would do that, be that person so bad. But she was talking about the manipulation of a man and everything, man, and especially what you was doing in your books
Yeah.
and speaking on that, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I think this is just a time we all got to just, I think we can't chase money. I think it's just too precious at this point. It's like God or nothing. It's
Yeah,
like God. It's just do God or don't. You ain't even gonna have a choice in soon, because God's people, He's raising up His people. He's raising up His voices. He's, and so, to God be the glory. It was not me. Trust, trust, trust. I would be in jail. I would be
yeah,
dead because I
yeah,
would have surely murdered one of my son's fathers
yeah,
for sure. I would have murdered. I would listen. Murder was in my heart.
yeah,
For it was in. I don't know how to explain. Like you could be just so angry, and I was so angry. I literally was like, if I have a gun, I'm going to kill somebody.
yeah,
And I remember just like that, the voice of the Lord said, He's after your love walk. And I was like, my love walk. So I really, that was the turn for me. That was the one thing I needed to calm down, because I was just always just so furious with the way the system was, with the way I was trying to maneuver through it, with the way people was acting. But then I realized the word says, guard your heart with all due diligence, because it affects everything you do. And so when I realized that, how I love was patient, love was kind, love was not easily angered, it wasn't boast, it wasn't proud, it didn't delight in evil, it persevered, it trusts, it hoped. And I was like, oh no. I said, I don't know what love is. Like, it doesn't keep no record of wrong. I was like, I'll be the first one to tell you, remember what you did yesterday, that right there. And when I had to learn what love was, then that's when I took myself to task and I said, I'm going to master love. I
mm,
said, and when I master, believe it or not, ladies, if y'all single,
mm,
you got to become that which you desire. All I desired was a man with God's heart, a purified heart. That's all
mm.
I asked God for. I ain't asked God. He had to have good teeth and he had to have purified heart. He had to have good teeth. I
He
couldn't.
couldn't have
I
no
couldn't do
jack
the
up grill.
snaggletooth.
He couldn't jack. He couldn't come
No,
with the jack up the old Rufus. Could come with the one Lord with the sit
no.
up. Boy, why you say that old boy? He couldn't come with that.
No, he couldn't. Just the teeth and the heart. That's all I asked for. And but I became it. So I was able to attract it. Because
Yeah,
when you master love, you could tell the counterfeits from the genuine ones. And so
yeah,
when folks come up on you, they ain't master that love. When you
yeah,
become real with it, you like, nah, he a counterfeit. It's like $100 bill. You could tell a counterfeit from a mile away. Or you got your little detector. So you ain't even gotta be thinking, oh, is he the one? Is he the one? Master love, and you'll be able to detect if they're the one or not. Because now you should be able to only attract who you are.
it's fact.
And so that's just, my life has been both spiritual, a spiritual journey with spiritual, real live wisdom nuggets, like truth, like
Yeah,
soul salvation, truth.
yeah,
That most of the time I don't even get to really, really share because I'm still going through the natural,
yeah,
just getting us to the place where we can, if I could get you to the place where now you can think. Now I'm like, now let's do this work. Let's do
Yeah.
this hard work. Let's talk about forgiveness. Let's talk because now you're talking about success. Now you're talking about bringing things into your life and going to the next level. You can't do that angry. You can't do that bitter. You can't do that afraid.
Yeah.
You can't do that jealous. Things like that. So
And
I
it's
listen, I'm a universe, so I could go on and on.
man, you the shout out to my guy Larry Keith in the building, man. Definitely, man. Listen what he went on ahead and said in the chat. Definitely want to promote. Gotta make sure we have all the info to point people towards you and the resources you're using, man. Uh,
Amen.
Shout out to him, man. If you, and matter of fact,
Thank you,
Larry's in
Larry.
the Larry's in the same vicinity as you are out there in DC and doing some really big things. I ain't gonna say on there what he's doing, but he's doing some really big things
Okay.
and real great connections. So y'all make sure y'all link up, man, when y'all out there, man, in that area, man. Larry, don't worry about it. That's my guy. We doing business together, man. We'll make sure we link together with you. My wife say facts. You
Yeah,
know you can fake. You can see the fake when you see it. She a straight
that's
East Coast
right.
girl, so she gonna be like you. She
Facts.
already knows. She on it, man.
She's like facts.
She facts. He on it,
Hmm.
boy. Man. Jamal Titus in the building. My guy, man. He said, man, I just jumped on. I'm gonna have to listen to the replay. Lambo Drew in the house. Yeah, yeah. JT, jump on, man. Make sure you go ahead and tap in, man. Larry
Yeah,
Keys facts, man. Tears. And it's the truth. And mastering love, man. That's the next one and stuff. Now, PC
yeah.
Smith said something about bad credit or no credit. I think that had to entangle with the rent vouchers. There was something like that about them not approving the rent vouchers for those Section 8 vouchers.
So you got to have the credit. You're not getting past the credit. But I've had moms take their financial aid
Mm-hmm.
and, of course, paying their credit off, and they would purchase property. So I've had where people purchase their first property through Section 8 as the first property, and then they would just buy their second property, with cash that they built. Um, so bad credit, no credit. I know when it comes to student loans, financial aid, tap, pay, all of that fast food stuff, um, credit is not a factor. As long as you in the public schools and getting public funding, there is no credit. That's a factor.
Right.
But one of the things I didn't do because I was so busy trying to survive, so busy trying to grow a small business, I didn't. I wish I would have protected my credit more
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
because it would not have taken me so long. I would have
Mhm.
had this thing would have blew up a long time ago, because of the access to capital. But that whole credit system, listen, uh, I could promise you, I when God gave me a vision for this RV,
Mhm.
He just showed me. I was like, okay, I got some dollars. What I'm gonna do? And then the Lord showed me this RV running down the highway. They zoomed down the highway, and I was like, "Oh my God, a RV! Like that's so
Yeah.
perfect." So I thought, you know what? Get your life together, Raquel. Go get your credit. Me and my husband, we spent a whole year working on our credit, getting this, getting that off, getting this, paying that, getting this, and we still, even with $30,000 cash down, we still could not find one bank, one lender, nowhere to give us a loan for the RV. And that's when I just was so hopeless. I was like, I did exactly what you said to do. Like, meaning not what God said to do, but what people say. Go to get the credit. Get good credit. Credit allows you, so, allows you this, that, and the third. And so I was like, I tried to do it on my own and I couldn't. And I would just sit there. I was devastated. And then
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? And believe it or not, I had met somebody at an RV expo.
Mhm.
And I just reached out to him. I was like, listen, I cannot get a loan. Do you know
Mhm.
anybody that rents RVs? And he was like, yeah, go to this community. I went to the community and I was just going right. I was like, ain't nobody going, baby, get her. I was like, ain't nobody going to rent me no RV for 2, 3 years and let me wrap it. So I
Yeah.
started to write the letter like I ain't care. And I promise you, it's like the Lord just snatched the jerk out of me and said, if you do not write this letter like you mean it. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me get right." And
Yeah.
I wrote the email. And the
Mhm.
next day, a family got me on Instagram and was like, "Is this you asking for an RV for 2 years?" Because
Mhm.
they said people be scamming people.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
try to rent your RV and steal it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." And it just so happened we had a family that was like, we'll help you."
Yeah.
So while even though I wasn't able to do it on my own, God
Yeah.
still provides.
Still
You know what
provide.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
He still provides. So if God gave you a vision, just listen, believe if you don't do nothing else. And if nothing else, work a system like school
Mhm.
to get you some money to invest in your business.
Yeah.
And, and so one of the things we do, we teach small businesses through our incubator at Cannot Live.
Mhm.
I was really kind of like, it took me 8 years to make my first dollar. So I was like, I'm not, people will always say, Raquel, why don't you just teach business? Why don't you teach marketing? Why don't
Yeah.
you, I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to
Yeah.
teach it. And then I remember, God was like, well, will you teach my people how to
Mhm.
do it? And I was like, I'll do that. So when I started to teach low income entrepreneurs, a dollar and a dream,
Mhm.
and how to create nothing out of something, that's where my genius comes in, where it looks like you have nothing.
Yeah.
I don't do well with the people with the whole mortgage, you got the whole equity,
Yeah.
line of credit and stuff. That's easy stuff.
Yeah.
But when you don't have nothing but just a
Yeah.
vision, that's and you don't have no dollars, that's
Yeah.
where, so we open a incubator just to help under resourced entrepreneurs. And I wanted to support with everything we didn't have. So we'll pay for your business license, your logo, your branding, your website, your email, domain, marketing coaches. We're paying for it. So by the time you leave our program, you in business. You making
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And then, and it still take time. So, you know, I don't want to just kind of keep going on and on. But outside of one thing I do want to make sure people know, because I know we're gonna probably have to cut it short
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all start moving. See y'all in there.
Most people know about Section 8,
Hmm.
but they don't know about Section 3. And that's what the tour is a national scavenger hunt looking for Section 3 dollars. You could Google right now, HUD Section 3. Go to the HUD website. And what it's going to say, wherever certain HUD monies is spent, employment training and contracting for their small businesses are supposed to be afforded to low income residents first before it's afforded to anybody else. And
Hmm.
so the developers, the good old boys, people that don't look at like us, they come in and get these contracts. They promise that they're going to do this, that, and the third. They don't. Housing authorities don't hold them accountable. HUD don't hold the housing authorities accountable. And we don't even hold the congressional reps accountable to hold HUD accountable.
Hmm.
And so all I'm saying, they did a study that it was $18.9 billion, and it was more than 16 million per week in wages just out there for low income families. So most people say, well, how do I get that? Visit your, first of all, you got to find out what programs trigger. Public housing,
Hmm.
everything triggers. When you're in a city, your CDBG funding, community development block grants, those funds trigger Section 3. So we need to be holding city staff accountable. How are you treating Section 3? How are you reporting Section 3? Did you achieve your goals? Do you have employment training contracting? Housing authorities, they put contracts out all the time,
Yeah.
and they be looking for low income people, but they
Mm.
just don't know how to look. They'll put it on their website. I'm like, don't nobody check your website.
Right. At
You know what I'm
all.
saying? Nobody's checking you. Who knows to check your website? So
Yeah.
we put some tools in place to help bridge those connections. But I promise you right now, janitorial, maintenance, landscaping, house cleaning, those are easy contracts for people to just gobble up from the, it's 3,000 house authorities in the United States.
Yeah.
And so the money just keep going. Ain't even no competition on the bids. They getting the bids simply because they the only ones bidding.
Mm. Mm.
We not even showing up. And when I say me, not just low income people, even minorities that are got capacity. They think because it's federal is a lot of paperwork, which it is. They don't want to deal with it. Hence why the bids go to the same people all the time. And most of the time, They do not look like 99.9% of the time. They don't look like me or you.
Mm,
They look like Echo.
mm. Okay, we know how Echo look. Shout out to my
Hey, Echo.
shout out to Echo and everything.
Hey,
Man,
boy.
listen, we need to learn more about this stuff, man. You know, be well with Dickie, man. Master what you love. You built the counterfeit, right? My wife would say, hey, man, God will provide. Shout out to you and
Amen.
everything, man. Can our Haney say a CPA told me a business can only lose money for 3 years, if I recall correctly?
No, I was told 5 years, but listen, if you got Donald Trump, he ain't arrested, he ain't in jail.
Man,
Some
man.
depending on how much money you talking. If you talking tax credits, you could defer monies and taxes for 10 years. That's what the
Yeah,
tax credit deal is all about. So you could hold it. What happens if you keep having a loss? Who's gonna tell you anything else? Now
yeah,
you gotta legitimately have a loss. You can't make up a loss.
yeah,
If your business lose, some people carry losses on their taxes for 10 years
yeah,
under certain programs. But yeah, I don't know about just 3 years, because the first 5 years, they know most businesses fail within the first 5 years.
mhm. Which that's facts, all that. God,
Amen,
faith,
Nikki.
yeah, showing you love and stuff like that. Echo giving the ha ha. We already saying, man, what he's looking like and stuff. There was one note that I did have to go ahead and tap into real quick. They talked about how many kids could you actually do this, right? So revenue, shout out to revenue on here, saying, what about 10 kids, man?
On child support.
On child support, man, and these credits like this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for the whole child support program. We got we took the Get Your Hands Out My Pocket. We made it a animation, like a play, and we have
Yeah,
a child support program. And so we're working just to kind of get our funds up and stuff like that, fundraising. But the goal is we will reduce most of the money that we would be making from like book proceeds are supposed to go to canceling child support debt for active fathers. If you're an active father in your child's life, we're gonna have to get those mamas to the table. We're gonna say, all right, how much you owe? He owe all y'all about 100,000. Y'all not gonna get it. Not now,
yeah,
not never.
yeah.
Would you take 10,000 cash? And if that's the case, you know, if that did you know? Let me tell you this. If
Mhm.
that's the case, they got to take him off paper. And the goal is to rebuild. We need to take control over our lives. The courts don't need to have that much control. But there's child support insurance
Mhm.
that you could actually pay. Child
Hold
support
on,
insurance.
time out. Child support insurance.
Yes, it's the only one in the whole United States. His name is Leo. I'm gonna put the website right now. He was on our podcast. He's a partner to the movement, because you can't move a million moms off welfare without addressing the needs of fathers. You just can't.
Exactly.
And
Yo, you let me
yeah,
know that. You know, I know some brothers seriously can use that. And I got one.
watch.
Hey, man. I could use that right now.
So the way it does. I'm looking at his stuff right now, McLaughlin. What he does is, in the event if you have child support insurance and you're ever brought into court, they can actually use the payments to make sure you don't go to jail
Yeah.
for your. I'm just trying to see, what is it? Where is it? Oh, here it goes. Investment. No, Leah McLaughlin. Yeah. So let me ask him. What's the website?
Yeah. Ask that website. Facts on the DT reference, man. My guy Kennard
I got
Haynes.
a whole podcast on it. I'm gonna go on my website and actually also look at the podcast, because
Bet.
we have a whole podcast on that one. He was on there. And I'll put that in the link for you.
Yeah, put that in the link, man. I would love that, man. Man, everybody say Kennard Haney say thank you so much, man. You know, showing love to you, man. You know, Nikki is
Amen.
in there like, yeah, listening to some of this stuff is definitely shocking, man, on here, what you have bought tonight, man. And listen, I don't want to hold you up because you blessed us with over an hour on the broadcast. And I knew and everything, man, how you were maneuvering tonight, True. And I really, really, really
Mm.
want to thank you, Miss R.W. Jones. Listen, tell the people how they can go ahead get in contact with you, stay connected with you, stay tapped into with you, and let people know, man, where they can reach you at.
Absolutely. So of course on the website, thebillionaire.com,
Put that right there on the
and
screen for you.
yep, thebillionaire.com. Of course on Instagram. I am putting, how I put this in the chat for you for the child. Let me see. Chat.
Yeah, just put it in the
Oh, there
chat.
you go, right there.
There you go. You got it?
Mm, I sure do.
Bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure do. There go the link. He gonna put it in the chat. So thebillionaire.com, Instagram at thebillionaire. You can reach us on at canilive.org if you in public housing, section 8. Just reach out. We definitely want to put in our I'm gonna put our community number. If you guys want to stay up to date with the tour, see where we're at, where we're going, we have a community number. Let's see. Community welfare tour. So I'm gonna put that number in the chat, 4947. Let's see, 918-4947. And so now you're in our community, because what we just actually we just got a guy in North Carolina. Hopefully everything goes well. But he didn't know us from a can of paint.
Mm,
He knew my partner, but we was like, listen, you do doors, like there was a contract out there to do like 300-400 door installations. One of our
really?
businesses. Yeah, and he was like, whoa. He was like, I didn't even know this was out there. So that was just the power of a blessing, that somebody could call you up that you don't even know and say, hey, I got a contract for you, by way of your partner. Like your name came up, and here's somebody who wants to comply with the Section 3. Now this is the power of accountability. I promise
Mm,
you, if we hold them accountable and start even asking about it, start asking your congressional rep, start asking her, start asking your city, start asking your local housing authority, start asking your mayors, find out enough about it through our website,
yeah.
canilive.org, section 3. You ask enough people, people will start straightening up. And before you know it, it's gonna be everybody gonna be like, y'all know somebody that do this. It's gonna be so much money flooding these communities right now. Because this guy, we saw him at a conference, and we went to his table. He was a vendor, and we was like, your contract triggers Section 3. And he was like, you know, well, because they supposed to do it. It's a law that says they're
Yeah.
supposed to do it. It's a federal law. It's a mandate. And
Mm,
all he said is, if I get an opportunity, if I my next contract, I'm gonna call y'all. Can y'all help me? And we were like, yeah. He called us. We found a contractor in his local area, just like that. Now they going to do the work.
wow.
That's double. That's a nice size contract,
That's a beautiful size contract.
just like that,
Shucks. Well, listen,
just like that.
I went on ahead. I put that information on the screen. Y'all got it pinned. We're gonna make sure, man, that we pin it in the podcast too as well in the comments, so y'all don't even have to even worry about that. But y'all make sure y'all going ahead, man, and tap in, man, especially for the fellas out there who need this. I'm telling y'all, this will definitely help y'all out now. Even if you the baby mama and you like, yo, let me help you out. I see you struggling a little bit. Make sure
Yeah,
you go ahead and tap in, man, and help that baby daddy out, man, because I'm telling you, it can get ugly real quick, man. Y'all know what it is. And the Section 3, man, follow right behind that. We are definitely tapping into that as well.
please. That's where our money is. If y'all looking for money, if you're looking for opportunity, it's locked in Section 3. It's mandatory. They're supposed to do it. And so, and if we don't know nothing else, you come into the community, you join a community. When we have our events, Section 3 expos and stuff, if you got a small business, get up on the expo platform. I'll show you how to do that, because, like I said, it's a lot that we have going on specifically around this. And I'm putting let me see, Section 3, claim your storefront. So we have let me see, become a member. So we have an expo that we do
Okay.
every quarter, and it's called the Section 3 Marketplace. So
Mm-hmm.
we are like bringing this thing full throttle to the front. I'm putting that up here.
Bet it up.
We're going to have a few housing authorities, the Section 3 Marketplace. that is where our goal is to take the opportunities that we get and see and bring it up there, so
Okay.
that we got a couple of housing authorities. They're going to be talking about the contracts that they have. We got Houston. Um, we got a couple of other ones, but they want to talk to you about how to do business with the housing authority and what kind of contracts they got going on. Public housing is privatizing right now,
Okay.
nationally. They're privatizing. That means there's major redevelopment going on. And so if you are a small business and you can provide, doorknobs, if you are providing supplies, if you are a painter, drywall, HVAC, plumber, anything construction, construction management, administration, we need to know that you're out there, so that when they start coming to us, because they're trying to say that nobody wants not anything,
Come on,
we
man.
need y'all to come in, get right up there. It says you could register as a Section 3 business, free, no cost. Just put your business up there, put what it is that you do, so that when the opportunities come in, we'll look at what we have and we'll call and say, do you have a capability statement? What you got? What kind of performance do you have you done? And if you gotta find somebody, maybe you say I don't have none, find somebody who does, partner with them, get on their job, volunteer with them, help them, intern with them, then that performance now becomes your performance. And so
Mm.
now you can start going and get, because they always looking for performance. What have you done?
Well, y'all, I put every link that I possibly can into the chats. I put them on the screen. Y'all make sure y'all catch the rebroadcast out if y'all need to copy them down. We're gonna have them in the link too as well, man. So I'm definitely ecstatic about all the stuff she didn't drop tonight. God, dog, boy. We need to make sure we get this right. Sharon said, I'm helping. I know she's helping. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. If I bought RW Jones just here just for you, Sharon, you
I
good,
know that's
girl.
right. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
They LA Law says thank you so much, showing love to you, as well as Nikki. Nikki saying yes, definitely. They showing love. This has been super powerful and encouraging. Nikki says. Nikki also says she's going. She's so going, man, to that.
I'm
For
so
real,
going.
for
It's
real.
online. It's virtual, so it's free.
It's
Just show
free.
up. That's
All
right.
right.
Just show up.
Y'all hear
Absolutely.
Bernard Haney say, please come back. Please come back. For
That's
real.
true. We'll be back
Hey, I know you're going to
anytime.
be back. Anytime, you are welcome, definitely, on this Leverage Show. We really want to thank you tonight.
Yeah.
We're respectful of your time. We're respectful. Please give my guy James, man, my love, and the entire family, your
He
team.
said love for
Please give
everybody,
y'all
you
love, man,
guys.
for
Thank
everybody
you.
love for this time, and definitely bearing with us, man, through this wonderful broadcast. Thank you for dropping so much knowledge. Y'all make sure, again, y'all go to the, look, Echo showing his love with the fire emoji and the
Yes, Echo.
man. Shout out to my guy Echo for actually arranging this, man, and connecting us together. Oh, we gonna tap
Yes.
in. We gonna be on some stuff, man. I'm sharing this info and sending
Amen.
it to
Thank
people
you,
there.
Nikki.
Thank you,
Let's do it.
thank y'all. But listen
Let's do
again,
it.
y'all make sure y'all tap in again. Please, man. Y'all make sure y'all go to thebillionaireman.com. Go get those books. Go get those materials. Sign up for
Amen.
everything, man, that she possibly has. And anytime that there's an event coming forward, man, make sure y'all guys are staying connected. Can they tap into you with IG as well? You got an IG account that they can kind of stay connected with?
I do. It's at the Billionaire. I'll put that in there right now.
Awesome.
IG, Instagram. There it goes.
Awesome. Thank you.
And let's see. So
Thank
here
you.
is my IG. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Boom. So we sit back
Yeah,
up in here.
please be sure to follow.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow the channel, man, because she's coming with some serious stuff, and I'm loving to see what she's actually been coming with, and to see from city to city. They may be pulling up on a city near you, so you really
True.
want to go ahead and pop in. Again, y'all follow her on the IG on Instagram.com at the.billionaire. The.billionaire. Y'all make
Yes.
sure y'all go follow through, show love, go like, go love, go support the channel, and make sure y'all continue to
Please.
stay napped in for real. All right. And look, this is the other one that she actually has, the welfare tour for real. Showing love. I'm definitely posting that up. Y'all getting ready to see that now as well. So y'all make
Okay.
sure y'all go like and love each of one of those pages, and y'all make sure that y'all stay tapped in for whatever that she's doing. There it goes.
Yes.
Instagram.com at the Wealth Fair Tour, not welfare. We ain't promoting. She's showing you. She's trying to have 1 million women to get off of welfare and showing
That's
you how
right.
to leverage yourself. The Wealth Fair Tour. The Wealth Fair Tour. Make sure y'all tap in, man. For real, man. Listen, we want to thank you. We are definitely not out of message, but we are out of time for tonight. Because I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I know y'all hungry. After y'all done went on here, man, man, and went to spitting all that game down the lower Mississippi. Make sure they come out there and give you some greens. They got some of the best greens, man, popping off down there in food. So in lower Mississippi. Shout out to my people. Larry Key said a big thank you. I'm going to link y'all two together, man. Let y'all tap in y'all area. Standing ovation, Nikki. Definitely a big standing ovation for what you did on the show, R.W. Jones. My wife say thank you all for tuning in, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Listen, y'all make sure y'all tap in, stay connected. Whatever she's doing, whatever the movement is doing, it's officially on and popping. Lily Anderson saying thank you for being on this live tonight. Shout out to Lily Anderson in the building, man, saying thank you for being on the live tonight. And also, man, Sharani Ron showing love. She's like, look, man, they gonna get this stuff to their baby daddy. You don't even understand. You don't understand.
Listen, if y'all got stories about, and y'all know this, the welfare tour, you could share your stories. We gotta put faces to this thing. They think it's not just my story. So everywhere we go, we're just collecting stories. Let's put this thing on his face. Put this thing on his face.
Put it on the face. Put it on the face. Cause no, I ain't giving you nothing but love, showing you too much love. Done and subscribe to your YouTube as well. Boom, boom, boom. You got the YouTube, right? Did you put that on there for him?
No, I didn't put the YouTube.
Don't be shortchanging us now. You done came to the broadcast and it just so much. Don't shortchange us now.
YouTube. I might not even have I don't even think I'm not. Listen, I'll be just in the streets trying to do this. I gotta get the whole YouTube thing. I don't think I have the YouTube.
Okay.
I don't think I have it.
Well,
I mean, it's something out there. Yes, it's something out there. But we use mostly the Instagram.
Yeah.
We use mostly the Instagram and the Facebook. I know I would tell you, I'm going to send this to you that you could post. We doing an interview Friday with the Bad Boy, former VP of marketing for Bad Boy Entertainment. He coming on. We just did one with Matthew Knowles. So they're signing on to the movement. They definitely like what what's happening. They trying to help our people. So he going to be dropping sometime. I'm just trying to find the link to the actual post. Okay. So I don't even manage this stuff. So let's see. I got Can I Live? Okay, so if you guys go here to the Can I Live Instagram, there's a post in there and you can actually register for the Sean Prez, former VP of marketing for Bad Boys. He gonna show us, Nikki said about the green. She's still talking about the green.
Hey, you know what time it is, man. You know what time it is, for real.
Wow. Yes. We just want to make sure we plug in. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot, but put like this. The vision is big. You cast the net just because everybody in different places.
Yeah.
Everybody in different places. It should be a little bit something for everybody.
Yeah. So listen, y'all tap in on that one right there, man, on the Instagram, on the Can I Live INC, Can I Live INC, Can I Live Inc. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I actually seen that in your thread and stuff like that you actually had on your post. So y'all tap into all of that. The Matthew Knowles, that's Beyonce daddy, right? For those who don't know.
Right.
That's Bay Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was up there.
Yeah.
Let's see, former VP of marketing. That's where you can register for that one. So you'll see me. I'll be on Friday talking with Sean Prez, and then we just take it from there. I mean, he know marketing. Because I'm like, how do we level? I need to level up. We need to take this to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Well, you're doing that. As long as you hitting these airways, you in these streets, you hitting these podcasts, you doing everything that you're doing, trust me and everything, you are leveling up, R.W. Jones. It's definitely being shown for what the welfare tour is actually bringing. So I'm definitely shout out to that. So yeah, let
All
me
right.
see. Here we go to register for the Zoom link. Let me go ahead. The whole thing on here.
See what Sean got to say. He good peoples though.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
real
yeah.
good peoples.
Press, yeah. Great
He good
people, believe it
peoples.
or not.
Yeah. And he was,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, a
And
lot
he
of people.
grew up in public housing. He was like, he ain't never heard of none of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the times, man, it's here for my people. There you go, everybody. I just shared it, man. Former VP of Bad Boy Marketing. Sean Perez, man, register. That's the actual Zoom link right there, and the whole nine, man. I didn't put it on there. So y'all guys can go on ahead, man, and tap into that as
Tap
well if
in.
that's something that y'all really need, man. Really tap in. I'm telling you, it's the community and it's a movement, man. Like I say,
Yes.
we're here to empower, man, as many people, man, as we possibly can to make this movement, man, happen by any means necessary. I'm telling y'all
Any
this right now.
means.
Any means
Any
necessary.
means.
And again, like I said, man, the word says, man, our people are destroyed for what? Of lack of
Lack
knowledge.
of knowledge.
And
Yes.
when it comes to that, truly, we are definitely no short of that on the Leverage Show every Tuesday night, especially what Miss R.W. Jones then brought to y'all. So y'all make sure y'all continuously to stay tapped in, man, and let's get this thing right for real, man. Y'all see it on the screen. Y'all make sure you copy it down. Check the replay if y'all possibly can for real. And let's make this happen, man. My wife, said, man, thank you for joining, Mrs. Jones.
Thank you, Miss Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lambo. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, Echo. Thank you all for just being here during this time and just taking it in. Please share it, and let's grow this movement. That's right.
Let's grow this movement. Bet it up, man. Listen, we love you, Miss R.W. Jones. Definitely the entire family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Tapping in. Definitely come back to the broadcast, man. We got a spot for you on here. You already know. Come drop some more knowledge. But make sure y'all drop them books. Go support the fam. Drop the books.
Amen.
Go make sure y'all buy it and purchase the material. Drop the books. Get the movement, man. And make sure y'all follow and be a light, man, to our people, man. Uplift our people who out here making moves out here, all right? Echo say God bless. Look, he's saying,
amen,
showing his love right back and everything. Thank you, Echo, for everything, man. Listen again, man. We are not out of message, but we're out of time tonight, man. We gave y'all like 90 minutes of so much stuff.
I know.
Let Miss R.W. Jones do her thing with her family now and our friends.
Yes, they looking at me
like thing. Yeah, they looking at. They ready to eat. They ready to roll, man.
Yeah, they ready to go.
Yeah. So listen,
all right,
we love y'all. Thank y'all. Have a great night, y'all. We'll see y'all next time, next Tuesday night, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. We on the Leverage Show. We out of here.